This is not just like, I'm obsessed with the type of product. Hi, Mal Pals and New Pals. Today's video is a foundation review. I've used this foundation. I've already talked about it in a vlog and updated you at the end of the night there, but I wanted to do a full review because this is a foundation that I feel. I've tried a lot of foundations in my day, okay? But to find one that just like stands out so strongly for my dry, sensitive skin. I have very dry, sensitive, breakout prone skin, and it's really hard for me to find a foundation. It doesn't over the day like break me out or pick up on dryness. I'm very dry in my T-zone, my cheeks, my chin, and I even have a little bit of dryness right here right now. So we're struggling a little. So I thought it'd be a perfect time to do a review for this foundation. I can already tell you that I love it. And this might be the best foundation I have ever used. And that's saying a lot because I have tried so many high-end drugstore foundations. I've tried so many, but a lot of you really wanted me to try this one specific foundation. And I feel like it is so life-changing. This is not just like, I'm obsessed with the type of product. This is something when I wore it, I felt super confident in, and it made me kind of want to cry because of the way my skin looked. It just looked so good. That's saying a lot for when you're struggling with autoimmune issues. If you're new here, I have an autoimmune disease. It causes rashes on my face. There's a lot of issues there. So when I find a foundation that works for me, I really like to stick with it or stick with that brand. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a lot of the foundations I have talked about. I just feel like this is standing out so strongly right now. It is the Koh Gen Do Aqua foundation. Now, I will be today comparing it to my top most used foundation currently, and that is, and it has been for a year now, the Armani Luminous foundation, okay? A lot of you told me to try Luminous Silk for years. A lot of you told me to try this for a really long time. So I want to compare them as I go along with this review today. Just so you know, that's what we're going to be mentioning this baby too. This foundation is not new. The formulation, they reformulated it a few years ago, but this is new to me. It's great to find out the new products, you know, what's going on with that. But sometimes it's great to discover things that have already been on the market for a while that work for a lot of people and to talk about them, revive them. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna show you how this foundation applies and wears. They reformulated this to have more coverage in it versus the old Aqua foundation, apparently. But this is still, it's got a price tag on it, let me tell ya. It doesn't have a large shade range, like whatsoever. It's got 10 shades. So it was hard for even me to find a shade. And I think this is as close of a match as I could find, and this is 002. It claims to give you a youthful glow that you experience right after a facial. It's redesigned for increased coverage, radiance, hydration, and longevity. And it says it's formulated with our signature gloss film powder. The light diffusing minerals brighten and minimize pores while resisting sweat and oiliness. This breathable serum foundation contains weightless skin conditioning emollients that improve the hydration and health of the skin for flawless and comfortable complexion. Definitely is one step above the Luminous Silk as far as dewiness. This I feel like has a more satin finish. This does have a more kind of natural to dewy finish. You're kind of getting the same situation in quality and wonderfulness if you have dry skin, but this is a little bit dewier and a little bit lighter coverage. So just keep that in mind. And I believe this retails for $62. This you get 1.01 ounces for $77. This is one of the more expensive foundations that I own, just bottom line. Okay, so the Luminous Silk retails for $64. So this is $13 more. Okay, and the Armani Luminous Silk, you get just a flat 1 fluid ounce. So let's get to applying. Let me zoom you in. I think that the application isn't necessarily something that I was like wowed by. Wonderful, it doesn't smell bad. It doesn't have SPF in it. And it is runny like a serum. And I feel like, and I forgot if I said this, I have the shade 002. Thought it was gonna be a little more yellow undertoned, and it is. It's a little bit pinky. That's okay though. It's not like so pink that it makes me look like I have a pinker undertone foundation on, but I would prefer if I had a shade that was a little bit more yellow. So right off the bat, you can see it's giving me kind of light coverage. And the one thing I do like about this foundation that I found out about immediately was that I could build this up and it does not get cakey or creasy, or like if I need to build it up in one area more versus another area, the area that I need to build it up in, it doesn't look any different than the area that's not built up. Some foundations you can build up and they look great, but you can tell you have build up of foundation over one area. This one just looks seamless and even. So I really, really enjoy this foundation. I'm gonna put, that was one pump. I'm gonna put half a pump. That's one other thing that I love. This is very controllable. The packaging to me, that's a little plastic. It's not something, or is that glass? I think it's just like a hard plastic. It's not something that I'm like wowed by, but this packaging to me is just like very simple. I don't need incredible packaging if the product is incredible. I just enjoy packaging. So if you're someone that doesn't enjoy packaging, that's not gonna bother you. But to me, for $77, I feel like maybe give us some glass or something. If you can tell already, I have quite the natural kind of beautiful glow about my skin. And I will zoom in on, like I have like a little breakout there on my head, and I'm gonna build this up right around this problem area so you guys can just see even how it builds up nicely. I'm gonna just put just a couple more dots on the back of my hand here. Maybe a little more on my chin, but it gives me such even coverage. It's almost like it creates a web on my face. I know that sounds gross, but like a web of product. And then once it sits, it just kind of just melts into my skin all over my face. I really, really appreciate the coverage and the formulation on this. Now, I have not tried this with a brush. I just prefer a damp beauty blender because my skin is very dry. So when I use a brush, I feel like I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm sloughing up product. I have some nice green tea here with a lemon peel. So here, I have larger pores, and what's so neat is, let's zoom in, this right here is very dry and painful and cracked. And it just looks kind of like I have something on my skin, you know, like an imperfection, but the foundation just kind of melts right over. And the way you're seeing this foundation right now is the way it looks all day into the night until you wash it off. I feel like it's pretty transfer proof because the other night I wore a turtleneck because it got really cold really quickly here in Hot Springs. And so I wore a turtleneck. I wore a turtleneck and it did not get on there. And I applied it, like you saw me earlier, I applied it kind of down my chin because it's a little pinky. And I do feel, I will say this, I do feel like it kind of oxidizes just a little teensy bit, but I don't know if that's the foundation itself oxidizing or if it's just a little too pink for my undertone. I love this foundation. I will update you guys at the end of the night, show you what it looks like. To me, if you can find something that works with your dry, sensitive skin and you have maybe some issues that you battle, like an autoimmune disease, things like that, foundation is something that's great to splurge on. Eyeshadows, you can get great ones at the, at Sephora, and you can get great ones at the drugstore. For me, drugstore foundations and concealers can be too fragranced, break me out, cause irritation. I can really know safely when I'm spending a little more on foundation and concealer and setting powders that I'm getting my money's worth. And that's just me saying this as a sensitive skinned gal. Those are the things I prefer to splurge on. I don't really buy fancy shoes and bags and clothes. I kind of focus more on skincare and like my base products. When it's $77, that's kind of like, wow, but I don't spend money really on much else other than this house. I like to put my money into places that I know will like help me, and foundation is a big one. Because if my foundation is irritating my skin and causing breakouts and has fragrance, it just like is just not good. The rest of my makeup's not gonna look good. So foundations and concealers and powders are really where I like to focus my makeup budget in. So just saying that, not justifying the price tag, but for me, when it works this well, you will see at the end of the night, it's worth it. That's what I'm trying to say. That's just where we all kind of like allot our money into things we enjoy most in life, and base products are what I truly enjoy most. I have the rest of my makeup on, and I just wanted to quickly let you know what I used for concealer and everything. I used my Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. It's just a very similar formulation to the Koh Gen Do foundation, Aqua foundation. So I applied this and set just my under eyes with the Dior Backstage powder, no powder. And then I lightly baked underneath my eyes. So that's what I have going on. The rest of everything else I'm wearing is in the info below. These two I love equally. I feel like they both blur my pores, but this right now is just giving my skin that extra life that I'm looking for, just because it's a little dull, because it's colder outside, and I'm really reaching for the Koh Gen Do Aqua foundation more than I am my Armani Luminous Silk, which is saying a lot for me, okay? But both I highly, highly recommend. This, like I said, is $13 more than this, but if you are like me and you like to splurge more on your base products, you'll be happy with either one. You just get different finishes. So I will show you guys what my face looks like at the end of the night. The sun has actually gone down because I've done a little too much work to show you what it looks like in natural daylight. So I will have to insert that on a different day so you guys can see what it looks like in natural daylight. I will have had this foundation on for approximately by the time I go to bed, 8 hours. So, and I'm under hot studio lights, and I'm gonna be going outside and back in. It's just gonna be a thing. I'm gonna be cooking. It's gonna be put through some stuff so I can show you what it looks like. Okay, it is the end of the night. It's been a day and a half. Pretty much in a day, but I've also had my glasses on. Not freaking bad, and this is not under studio lighting. This is just under my regular bedroom light. You see this foundation? Girl, we still have coverage, but it wears down beautifully, and I feel like it retains other products beautifully. Like even my glasses prints, there's really not that much foundation on my glasses left. So, you know, I don't know, I feel like it speaks for itself. And there's my nose rash. Lovely, lovely, nice shot up my nose. Overall, I love this foundation, and if you are questioning whether to try it or not, you can always get a sample at Sephora. But I love it for my dry. Sorry. I'm having a really bad night. I love it for my dry, irritable skin, breakout bronze skin. I miss Chewy, my dog, if you're new. Would have been his 11th birthday the other day. Lost him like a month and a half ago. Anyway. Oh, love the foundation. I mean, honestly though, it doesn't even like enhance my pores over time. Even my mascara is flaking in, and it's like, is that like looking nice on top of this foundation? Look at those pores, girl. I've been wiping my nose because I've been crying. Anyway, let me know if you've tried this foundation, if you tried the older formula, because I never got the chance to do that, even though you guys told me to try this foundation for so long. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you tried the older foundation formula, if you're going to try this formula, the new one, what you think of it. Is it worth it to you? I don't know. It's worth it to me. I mean, look at it. It's been 8 hours. I'm gonna break out, build it up there. See the difference? There is no difference. Like I built it up here. Didn't build it up there. It looks pretty good. Okay. Not bad. Alright, goodbye you guys. My little kitty is loving this robot vacuum box. It's a box. He is a cat. That's you.